Justice for all is such an amazing phrase. In the Pledge of Allegiance, we've been saying it since we were little kids. I'm Susan Owen, managing partner at Owen Patterson and Owen. I went to law school because of justice for all. I wanted to fight for all those people who couldn't get justice on their own. If you've been injured, call Owen Patterson and Owen, 888-OPO-WIN. And we do, 888-OPO-WINS, or go to opolaw.com.
Attention I-10 freeway drivers. Freeway and ramp closures are coming up for the I-10 Express Lanes project. Don't get stuck. For dates and detours, visit GoSBCTA.com. That's GoSBCTA.com for more information on the I-10 Express Lanes project.
American Vision Windows, SoCal's choice for energy-efficient windows and doors. AmericanVisionWindows.com.
For official rules and more information about contests on this station, go to KFIAM640.com/rules. AM 640. 24-hour news. More stimulating talk.
Good morning, Joe Handel here. Friday, January 14th. Let's jump right into it. More Handel on the news. Jennifer Jones-Lee, Wayne, and me.
We were talking about the attack on the Capitol and sedition, and in this case, the committee investigating the attack on the Capitol on January 6th wants Google, Facebook, and Twitter to pass on digital records that day that could potentially incriminate the Trump White House in this case. Can't Google, Facebook, and Twitter all say, hey, just do a search on our sites and you can find it yourself?
Well,
do they have to turn it over if it's public?
I don't know. I think the issue is the deleted chats and the deleted postings and the texts, etc. That you're going to need a subpoena to get them. That these companies just say no, thank you. Get a subpoena, and what the committee wants is just everything that was written from certain members. Kevin McCarthy, for example, who has refused to cooperate voluntarily, and it actually makes sense. But they have a point. As do the members of the administration. They're saying, wait a sec, you're going to go through everything I have, and then you're going to decide what's relevant, as opposed to arguing what's relevant, and they decide it's a chicken and the egg thing. Alex Baldwin is having the same problem. Or Alex Baldwin is having exactly the same problem. Where the sheriff's department wants access to his cell phone and says, oh, hang on a minute. I'm not going to give you access to my cell phone. And what, have all of the private texts? I don't want to admit that I like sex with elephants. Not really. It's just a fantasy. That's aspirational on his part. But who has to see that? And how is it relevant? And so there is a point there. There really is.
And the committee has given these social media companies until the 27th to comply, but it's very unclear right now as to whether these companies are going to say, yeah, sure, we're happy to turn it over. Or I don't think they will either.
I think they'll fight it.
Yeah.
They got Kevin McCarthy saying if they do cooperate, they will be in violation of the law, and a Republican majority will hold them fully accountable. So imagine getting a subpoena. You get a thing that says, hey, you have to give us this stuff or you're violating the law. And then this guy says, if you give them the stuff, you're violating the law.
Tough position to be in. So all these companies can do is sit back and print more money. That's their job. They do it well.
Prince Andrew has been stripped of all his titles, and guess who told him? To his face, the Queen. He was summoned to Windsor Castle, and the 95-year-old Queen said, you are not a Royal Highness no more, dude. You are on your own as a private citizen when it comes to this lawsuit against you.
Yeah, all he is a prince, which that can't be removed because he was born and is, but everything else, all of his military appointments, everything. And a lot of it had to do with, this was subsequent to a letter that was written to the Queen asking that Andrew be removed of all of his military affiliations because members of the royal family are head of various military regiments, etc. The Queen has hers, Charles has his, Prince Andrew was involved with it. As a matter of fact, he took over a lot when his dad died. And so it was just. Do I have that right?
I don't know that he did, but I just
Yeah,
know
no,
what
it was his dad who died, and then he took over
yeah,
a lot of he took over a lot of the position.
Well, I just know that whatever positions he did have been given back to the Queen. So does she now run them, or does she distribute them
She
now to the
distributes
rest of
them.
the family?
It's all her call.
And but can you imagine too that he? And remember yesterday we were talking about this. How does the royal family handle this? And she had she didn't talk about it a lot, but when she did, she was supportive of him.
Yeah, that's
and then it was the minute that lawsuit by Virginia Giuffre was allowed to go forward, the Queen, you could tell, was just like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, no, it's just very terse message. You can just imagine that meeting. And I get the feeling that Queen Elizabeth can be a hard person. I mean, just immovable when she wants to be. I mean, there is, a granite within a velvet glove, or that's velvet inside of a granite rock. I never quite understood that phrase.
All right, you touched on this one. Alec Baldwin has not turned over his phone, and as you said, he's basically saying, hey, you guys want my phone, but that also means that you get to go through pictures and, pictures of my wife and photos of my kids and any other messages that I have sent to whomever. And that's where this is coming in. It's not that he's necessarily saying, I don't want you to know what I said about the shooting on that day. It's the other stuff that's on that phone.
Now, he's working with the DA to give them the phone.
Right.
As opposed to having the sheriff's office come and take it in.
And he's got a point to certainly that you want everything I have, so my private texts which are irrelevant to this investigation. They, on the other hand, I think can argue, if we just rely on you, you have the ability to not give us the information that is relevant, incriminating information. So,
but they can't. I mean, I guess they would maybe see a lot of this stuff. They can't take all that irrelevant stuff. A search warrant has to say, what's the crime? What's the crime? What are you looking for specifically? So there's no search warrant that says you can take his phone and look through everything and make copies of everything. That's not true.
That's correct. But you can take his phone and look through everything and eliminate the irrelevant parts. Mm-hmm. And that happens all the time. And then the problem is, does that leak?
Oh, of course it does. And especially if you're going to turn it over to the sheriff's department, I would think that there's much more chance of it leaking versus giving it straight to the DA, and he and maybe one other person have control of that phone.
Take a break. We'll come back. And we have plenty more handle on the news. All right, Jennifer.
Retail sales dropped 1.9% in December, and analysts say that's because of the Omicron variant of COVID, product shortages, and inflation. It appears North Korea is not taking U.S. sanctions lightly. The country fired at least 2 ballistic missiles overnight, the third weapon test this month. And Tesla merchandise is now available using the digital currency Dogecoin. CEO Elon Musk tweeted the news overnight and says his company's online store shows items both now in dollars and in Dogecoin. We'll take a look at your drive with the KFI in the sky next.
Yesterday we did a story on how CBD products can be connected with helping people avert the virus, and that was brand new. But then, no surprise either, CBD products are really interesting stuff. They're given credit for a whole lot of positive aspects. For example, sleep better, I use that for that. Stay calmer, I use it, but it probably doesn't work for that. Feeling better after exercise, yeah, that works. And I'm a fan of CBD products, strangely enough. Again, so I use cbdistillery.com products every night. For me, it works. Over 2 million customers. cbdistillery.com is a full line of CBD products with a full spectrum CBD. So if you are interested in feeling better, being calmer, having better sleep, and remember, 2 million customers, visit cbdistillery.com, enter handle in promo code handle for 20% off. That's cbdistillery.com. Enter handle as a promo code, cbdistillery.com.
Do you love cars? Come see Sweet Rides for a great cause at the Slave to Nothing Foundation Cruisin' to Freedom Car Show and Cruise, supported by In-N-Out Burger. All money raised helps end human trafficking. It's Saturday, January 15th, 3 to 7 p.m. at the OC Fair and Event Center. Don't miss it.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly cloudy today. We have a wind advisory in effect from 9 this morning till 3 tomorrow afternoon. Highs will be in the mid-60s to the low 70s. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. We're checking out the 210 again.
All right, there's only one big crash in our empire here, really, and it's a doozy, so listen up. It's in Duarte, the 210 now, 210 west of the 605. In between the 605 and Buena Vista, only one lane is open in both directions. Very complicated crash. Now, the westbound backup, it's growing and growing and growing. It's going through Citrus right now. We're orbiting right over it. It's quite a sight. Even the eastbound, coming away from Santa Anita, everything stops at Myrtle. The freeway alternative is definitely the San Bernardino Freeway, the 10, no question about it. Westbound is slow, approaching the 605, but it's way better than getting involved in this. Eastbound's just wide open. And I want to warn you about westbound Foothill Boulevard. I think at this point now, it's worse than the freeway because you have signals to deal with, and getting through the Santa Fe Dam area, it's really, really something. You can get on the West 210 at Buena Vista or anywhere west of, you're in pretty good shape. If you're in an accident, visit superwomansuperlawyer.com. Jeff KFI in the sky.
This report is sponsored by calhope.org.
As life returns to normal, our worries have not disappeared, but evolved. CalHope offers free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 1-833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Hey, it's Conway here. Guess what app is back? Yes, the app where you can make money when you buy gas. And of course, it's called Get Upside. I've been telling you about this app for the last year and a half, and collectively, all you Get Upsiders, you've earned $100 million. Wow! Get Upside is a free app, and it pays you every time you put gas in your car. You download the app, Get Upside, don't forget that promo code Conway, and then the very first time you use it, they're going to pay you up to 50 cents per gallon, and they'll pay you up to 25 cents a gallon every time you fill up after that. Inflation has been hitting all of us, and now it's super important to make money every time you pump gas, and you can do it with Get Upside. Promo code Conway. And by the way, these are big name gas stations like Shell and BP. Download Get Upside, use promo code Conway, and start making cash today. Remember, the first time you use it, they're going to pay you up to 50 cents a gallon, and every time after that, they're going to pay you up to 25 cents a gallon. Get Upside, promo code Conway.
I saw a for sale sign down the street the other day in front of a house, and next to it was a giant dumpster filled with wood and paint cans, and I thought, oh, those people are so old school. They need to sell their home the new-fashioned way with OpenDoor.com. See, Open Door invented this whole new way to sell your home, and it's one without the hassle and hurdles of listings and showings. With Open Door, you get to skip the hard parts of selling a house. You won't have to make those repairs yourself or do any prep. You just go to opendoor.com/KFI, answer a few really simple questions about your home, then Open Door takes that information and compares it to other homes in the neighborhood. I went through the process, and within minutes, I got a real competitive offer for my house. So sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com/KFI. Offer eligibility varies. Open Door is represented by Open Door Brokerage Inc., license number 020-61130 in California, and Open Door Brokerage LLC in its other markets. So sell your home the new-fashioned way at opendoor.com/KFI.
What's that? Oh, you hate your job. Well, just freak up a little. All right, not speak up. Freak up. You know, if you have something to say, you have a passion you could spend hours talking about every day, if you've always fantasized about doing a podcast, you just got to freak up. That's what we call it over at Spreaker.com, Spreaker from iHeart. It's the easiest way to podcast and get paid for it. But, you know, freak up. Speak for yourself. Speak your mind. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Spreaker.com.
NeoU is my new favorite fitness app, and at $3.99 a month, I can't believe everything I get. Real-time coaching, daily live workouts where I can see my friends, plus thousands of on-demand classes like strength, boot camp, yoga, and more. I'm obsessed with NeoU's interactive workouts where my instructors can see and talk to me. And when you sign up for a 60-day free trial by January 31st, you'll pay just $3.99 a month. Sign up now at neoufitness.com. That's neoufitness.com.
This winter, we must all do our part to protect ourselves and loved ones from COVID-19. Getting vaccinated gives you the greatest protection against severe illness and death. And for the first time, everyone in the family ages 5 and up is eligible for the vaccine. If you are already fully vaccinated, get your booster to keep your immunity strong. Keeping each other safer is simple. Get vaccinated. Visit myturn.ca.gov to find a vaccination location near you. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 38,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
A Chinese national who's in the Philippines not only got COVID, but influenza B and, oh my God,
Streptococcus pneumonia.
can you come up with a trendy word for pneumonia? No, very good, pneumonia. Strep pneumonia.
John and Ken, weekdays at 2
Hey, cover that one.
on KFI.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need.
Good morning, Bill Handel, Morning Crowd. Thursday or Friday, January 14th. Let's finish Handel on the news. Jennifer and Wayne and me.
He's back after having his lawsuit against former members of Nirvana and some other people thrown out by a federal judge. The guy who was the baby on the cover of the Nevermind album is back, having refiled the lawsuit and adding a couple of things that he hopes will let it fly this time, including a declaration from the graphic designer, which he's presenting to prove that they specifically wanted his little baby Schmeckle to be seen on the cover.
And the only reason the case was dismissed, there was a timeline that was missed, a deadline that was missed. And it happens all the time. I mean, courts can say it's over, goodbye, when you miss a major deadline. But sometimes judges go, come on, that was, so you forgot that day. And you couldn't get it on time. It's not your fault, it's your stupid lawyer's fault. And so they let it fly, and that's what happened here. So the case is moving ahead as if the first part wasn't dismissed. And I don't know where he's going to go with that. I really don't. Because he was proud of it. I mean, he wore it as a badge of honor. That I'm the kid who's at their Nirvana album cover. So I don't know where he's going to go with that. And what incredible pain and suffering and humiliation and nightmares, and my life isn't the same. And those lawsuits always drive me nuts. The emotional distress lawsuits.
All right, well, in today's episode of As Novak Djokovic in Australia Turns, now Australia has decided to take away his visa again. They canceled it. So this is after it was canceled earlier this week. Then they said, no, okay, you can stay in the country, that's fine. So he starts practicing for the Australian Open, which he's won for the last 3 years, I might point out. And then now all of a sudden the immigration minister said, nah, you know what? I am firmly committed to protecting Australia's borders, so Novak Djokovic, we've canceled your visa again.
Yeah, but Alex Hawke, the immigration minister who made that decision, said, I have full and complete autonomous power to make that decision.
And he does.
Yep, just look at the law. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing this, not the minister, but Djokovic. His legacy is going to include this, I guess it's fair to say, controversy. Here's the greatest player in the world right now. He's going to go down as one of the greatest tennis players who ever lived. And why? Because he doesn't want to get vaccinated or tested? I mean, just do it. Come on. I mean, first of all, it's the Australian Open, and just the money involved. And I don't know if that's important to him, probably not. But you would think a legacy time. Do you really want an asterisk next to your name, best known for being thrown out of Australia because you wouldn't take a shot, or you wouldn't even tell the authorities whether you have or not? Oh, one of his defenses is he had COVID, and therefore he's built the antibodies, and therefore he doesn't have to have the vaccination. Well, does anybody care?
Well, the state of Victoria gave him that exemption.
I think
they bought it. They bought what he was saying and felt that he fit in with the guidelines, and then the federal government stepped in and said no, and then a judge said yes, and then this guy, Hawk, said no, and there's still going to be another round where they go back to court.
And I think it's not just Djokovic who looks bad. I think it makes Australia look bad.
And I disagree with you, Wayne. It's not that it was granted based on medical evidence or lack of evidence. It was granted originally because he's Novak Djokovic. And that's it. I don't think it's beyond that. So, anyway, are we ever going to know? I have no idea. But my guess is he is not going to be able to stay in Australia. Because legally, the minister has every right to make a singular decision.
No, hold on one second. And I don't know if either of you know this, but wasn't yesterday the draw for the Australian Open?
Yeah, of course he pulled top seed.
So he pulled
and
top
it starts
seed.
on the 17th. I mean, they're running out of time.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like, what do you do if you are you are just the Australian Open? It doesn't matter who's playing in it. You are just the Australian Open. What do you do then?
You order room service because you're not leaving the hotel for a while.
Well, but I'm saying, so then what?
What does the tournament do?
What does the tournament do? Do they bump everybody up?
Yeah, that's I would assume that's how they do it. And he's considered disqualified.
Yeah.
Okay.
ABC.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Did you want to end with something else?
No, go for it.
ABC News under fire because they edited an interview with CDC Director Rochelle Walensky and made it sound like she was talking about all people who got COVID-19 when she was really talking about vaccinated people, and this had to do with a study she was talking about, that the vaccinated people who have died of coronavirus, most of them were also sick for other reasons. And the way they edited it, and I don't think they did it on purpose. This was just sloppy editing. This was not trying to a gotcha on her. But the way it came off, that she was saying all the people who died of COVID-19 also were sick from something else. So anti-vaxxers are now saying, look, even the CDC director said the only people who are dying from COVID are people who had other big health problems, which is not what the study was about and not what she actually said in the interview.
And the conservatives, you've got Donald Trump himself and or Donald Trump Jr., Tucker Carlson, Laura Ingraham, saying that this was a plot to divert the truth, and it's just another reason the Biden administration.
Why would ABC on purpose edit it to make it sound less serious than it is, which is what they like to say. The people who are yelling at ABC,
it doesn't matter if there is
an
an
be
error.
Going, yes, ABC, you got on board with us. It's not that serious.
I'll tell you, beyond that, and you're right, is that any mistake, irregularity that the Biden administration either says or writes or releases, immediately, you see, they're lying. And it doesn't matter why, they're lying. It's all a plot, and the networks are part of the plot, and just, it's crazy is what it is. Oh, and by the way, Tucker Carlson, on the air, said that January 6th was a Democratic Party plot. And he said that publicly, that this was all Democrats that, in fact, raided the Capitol, that overran the Capitol by Democrats to make Republicans look bad. That is the crazy that we are dealing with here on this. You shake your head. Where even news that's in favor of them is somehow fake because it's the Biden administration. If the Biden administration says there's a stop sign, they're lying. That's not true. Here's the picture of the stop sign. Fake news, Photoshopped. What do you do? We get out of here is what we do, because we just ended the segment. Coming up, folks, Americans are not isolating, and one of the big reasons I'll share with you. KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
It's more informing, more engaging, more stimulating. KFI.
KOST HD2.
Los Angeles, Orange County.
Live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
Handing it off. I'm Jen Lee live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. LA County Sheriff Villanueva has asked the feds to take over the prosecution of those responsible for the death of an off-duty LAPD officer.
Villanueva says LA County DA's investigators showed up to the scene Monday night in South LA, and after a brief conversation, the sheriff said he wasn't satisfied with how the DA's office planned to prosecute.
I believe their plan was to just prosecute a simple murder with no gun enhancements, no gang enhancements, nothing. And that did not really cover the depravity of this crime.
Villanueva says the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office will charge the 3 gang members and 1 associate with violent crimes.